Today we are reviewing some off-leash and out-of-control dog videos, so let's get right into it. Off-leash huskies coming out. More huskies.
They just ran up on him and he's very aggressive.
You seem smart for having the muzzle on.
You don't have your eyes on your dog. That could have been very bad. Keep your eyes on your dog if you want them to be safe. Put your dogs down. My dog's almost just put your dog down. Next time I'll take the muzzle off, bitch.
Holy shit.
Bring him back over here and I will. Bring him back over here.
Pulls knife.
Your dog is running up on me. Pull a knife on my dog. See what happens.
She walk up on this
Just
guy?
pull the knife on my fucking dog. Not doing shit about it.
All right, so the lady in the park, you know, this is the
George,
classic.
just let him go. Next time I'll take the muzzle off.
Classic someone working in the park, they get upset at another dog walking up on them and they start just having verbal altercations with the person that's around them, right? So what I would say here is, from a training perspective, first of all, before you start coming into public areas with your dog like this, when you have a dog like this that's highly reactive, you know, first of all, it's good that you're working on this, but I feel like there's some other steps that we need to accomplish before we come to a park like this if you're going to have a reaction like this, which while she's walking and recording, it does look like her dog's in a good walking position, like she's comfortable walking with her dog. It's just when other dogs get up on her dog. You know that's a possibility in a park. So if you're going to do that, first of all, make sure that your dog is ready for that. So for me in particular, when I'm doing my training, looks like she's got a prong collar on and the muzzle. But for me in particular, when I'm doing my training, I'm going to make sure that I complete all prerequisite training, which is engagement, all of your obedience work, your accountability phase, which is going to start with your leash accountability. That could be on a first saver training collar, could be on a prong collar. Then I'm doing e-collar training. When I get done with the e-collar, conditioning and application, then I'm starting my socialization, generalization, social neutrality work, and I'm starting at very low distractions. So I'm going to be taking a walk in a very low-key park. I'm going to be slowly increasing my levels of distraction and socialization based on how my dog's doing. Now, if I'm in this situation and I have other dogs walking up to me and I've done all that work and they're walking up to me, I'm going to turn, I'm going to tell my dog to heel, I'm going to start walking away, putting distance between myself and those other dogs coming up to me. Those dogs that came up, you know, thankfully they're not attacking or being aggressive. They're just literally walking up to sniff. So I'm going to be walking away. I'm going to be making sure that my dog's maintaining good heel position. I'm going to increase my threshold. I'm going to work on my threshold and then slowly reduce my threshold over time. So I would rather do that than have an outburst like this because, you know, getting into a verbal altercation with someone like this, wherever you're at, it could trigger them, which apparently, you know, she put on the screen that the dude had pulled a knife. So it could trigger actual confrontation, like physical confrontation where the dude is trying to stab you or your dog. We want to de-escalate those situations. We don't really want that to happen. So it's best if you just make sure that you and your dog can walk away and not have these verbal altercations. That way you're de-escalating situations and not escalating them, because you never know who you're dealing with. You guys hear stories all the times of things happening out in town. You never know who's around you. You never know who you're dealing with. So I'd rather not get into a verbal altercation like this if I could help it. All right, next video. When you bring in stray dogs and expect your dogs to be happy about it. All right, so they record these videos, you know, they're dancing. I'm watching the dogs the whole time. You got two dogs in this video. You got the brindle dog, the black dog. The black dog tail is outward, slightly upward, and its ears came back when the brindle dog came up to sniff it. So that's basically the black dog saying, I don't like you coming up to me like that. You're not respecting my boundaries. And so that's whenever the black dog lashes out at the brindle dog. The brindle dog seems to be nervous or a little bit stressed. Its ears are back. It's panting. It's coming up respectfully to sniff. The black dog's just like, hell no. You ain't going to come up and sniff me probably in my house. That must be her own dog. That's what I see going on there. So if you're bringing home dogs, you need to follow good introduction protocols. Don't just throw dogs into your house and expect everyone to get along together. Make sure you follow good introduction protocols between your dogs, which I've covered on other videos and podcasts. But basically, you want to walk those dogs together for a period of time before you let them have free roam together. You want to make sure they're very well familiarized with each other before you're doing this kind of stuff. This lady's having a good time dancing, though. So fuck around and find out, huh?
Oh, Quítale la mano. My boy, you know, my boy. You love me, daddy? You love daddy? Oh, shit. All right, buddy. Oh, this is my boy. This is my boy. You boy, you won't kill daddy. You won't kill daddy. I'm trying to just pick a little teeth with you. My boy. All right, buddy.
So this is one of those videos where, we always see the videos of the people that are messing with their dogs, instigating them. This one escalated a little bit. Wasn't as crazy as it could have been, but at any point in time, these behaviors will continue to escalate, right? So you got this guy laying in his bed. He's got the dog on its back. There are a few signals that I saw the dog throw that I was wondering, probably leaning toward the dog being agitated. Like one, he's sitting there, he's got his teeth. It's hard to know if he's like showing his teeth or if his lips are just falling back. But he's doing some growling, some noise making, but he's also lip licking, right? Or teeth licking. He's got his tongue flicking in and out. And that's a sign of agitation. That's a sign of conflict. So if I see that, I'm going to kind of alleviate whatever's going on with the dog so they can calm down a little bit. This guy doesn't care. He's in bed with his dog. You can tell he got a little bit nervous. And what this guy would do if his dog actually started coming at him is back up, give space, which is what he did for a second there. What that does is that teaches the dog that the dog has control and that the dog can make forward movement and kind of move you away. So that's what that guy was basically signaling to his dog in that situation. And the more that happens, the more that behavior of the dog coming at the guy can escalate. But as you can tell, that dog could do major damage with these teeth, if it was serious about escalating the behavior. And you got this guy just constantly sticking his fingers in the mouth, constantly in his face, bear hugging him and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, people don't like that happening to people. So why do people do that to dogs? It makes no sense. But I wouldn't recommend this, and if you notice that your dog's getting conflicted, know their body language. If they're getting conflicted, alleviate that conflict, alleviate that stress, and, give them some space and figure out why they got conflicted and stressed. Most likely something you were doing, like a situation like this. But yeah, this is just going to escalate over time. We see the videos all the time of this kind of stuff. And then I'm sure someone's going to see, oh, the dog bit me, or the dog did this, or the dog did that, and they act surprised,
Getting his hours in. Sit. The fuck? Sit. Stop. I said, I'm getting ready to trampoline today. All said. Hold on, y'all. I said, sit.
Dude.
Let it go. Let it go.
Dude, oh, don't hurt the dog's neck, bro.
I'm getting rid of this motherfucker today. Let it go. Said.
What an unfortunate situation,
Let it
bro.
go. Austin. Let it go.
He's not holding it.
Let it go.
He's saying let it go. The dog's stuck.
Let it go.
There's no letting go. Oh my God, dude. It's gonna hurt the dog's neck. Ow.
Stop.
Bro.
Hey.
Dude.
No. I'm getting ready to trampoline today.
I gotta see more of this dog, dude. I gotta see more. Is this dog attacking the guy all the time? What is happening here? Holy shit. Dog's stressed out.
Before the camera came on and I started recording, I said had a hold of him. He grabbed me right here and he wouldn't let me go. He started shaking. He wouldn't let me go. I'm getting ready to trampoline today, so I'll say.
All right, this guy's got this this bully. One thing I think about in this situation is you're gonna the way he's twisting the dog. I'm like, it's gonna torque on his neck. That's gonna cause an injury. So what I would do is like with a dog this size is just scoop him up, hold him basically in my arms, and then work his jaw out to where his jaw comes off the trampoline. But then we figure out, because the guy says later on in the video that the dog was biting him, and after he gets the dog off the trampoline, the dog is coming after him a little bit. That could be because the dog's stressed. It could be because the dog's conflicted. It could also be because this is a behavior that he's kind of developed with his dog for his dog to do this. He thinks it's funny or something like that. But you got, like, if you're in a situation like this or a different situation with your dog and you're trying to help your dog, think about the potential injuries if you try to yank a certain way or do something a certain way. So you got to work on it to the best of your ability without further injury being occurred on your dog. But also, if the dog has a habit of biting onto the trampoline, that's just going to keep happening. Like I always say, what your dog practices, it will continue to do. Like this dude has a cane and he has all this other stuff for handling his dog. So I'm assuming that their relationship has some kind of issue in it to where the dog is coming after him or biting him or something like that. The dog's mindset needs to change, which means the owner's mindset needs to change as well. So I don't know where this was, but this dude's running down the street. He's getting swarmed by a bunch of dogs, and it's like they're grabbing toward his legs a little bit, and then they they're just circling him. But if this is happening to you, what are you going to do? You're surrounded by dogs. Me, I would just keep moving if I can. That might trigger some prey drive in these dogs. They might chase me. They bite my legs or whatever. If that's happening, you can look around, maybe get to an elevated surface, if you can get on top of a car or over a fence or something like that. But at first, I'm just going to try and keep moving and act like the dogs aren't there with this group of dogs in particular, because they're not actually trying, they're not, doesn't look like they're actually making contact or causing damage. If I'm getting damage caused to me or actual bites occurring, I'm definitely trying to seek higher ground to get to. I'll kick dogs, I'll grab dogs, whatever needs to be done to try and alleviate the amount of bites that I'm taking on. But when you're surrounded with a pack like this, it does get a little challenging versus a one-on-one situation for sure. Dog street fight. Bunch of barking at each other. Telling each other off. They're telling each other off, dude. Okay. So what I see in this video is very interesting, actually. You got these two groups of dogs that are having this barking battle, but there's one dog in particular that started catching my attention. It's the one on the right in the middle. It's the brown dog with the white ring around its neck. That seems to be the ringleader of the dogs on the right side. There's also a brown dog with white spots on it that seems to be the ringleader of the dog on the left side. And these two dogs are basically trying to call the shots with each other. And they're basically, we're seeing lots of dominance. We're seeing the tails up, we're seeing the tails wagging as this whole process is going. And we are seeing some ears back a little bit. So we're seeing all these different signals. Tails wagging does not mean friendliness. It means arousal in this situation. A lot of tails up, right? But these two kind of ringleader dogs, they eventually are snapping back and forth at each other. And the one on the right side is persistent enough and dominant enough that the others submit and move off. So that's just something important to note, right? But, a lot of good signaling in this group of dogs right here. Most of the time dogs can signal to each other, communicate to each other very effectively. It's those situations where, they don't have bite inhibition. They can't really regulate themselves, is where it could be a little bit tricky sometimes. So just something to note, but very interesting situation right here. A lot of good scenarios we went through. Hopefully you learned something today. Leave it in the comments below, things that you took away from these videos. And what I recommend you do is watch our dog body language video. A lot of things that we went through today, we could alleviate if we understood the body language and if we know how to read our dog and know exactly what they're saying to us. Not just our dogs, but the dogs around us. So we'll drop that video link right here. Just join me in this video. We'll learn about body language together.